Everybody, Evangelist Celia here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, if you are new to the channel, I'm gonna ask that you go ahead right now, hit on that subscribe button. I want you to watch the videos, like the videos, comment on the videos, share the videos with somebody. You may not know, but you might just be blessing somebody by sharing this particular video with them. To those of you who have recently subscribed, thank you for seeing it fit to subscribe into my channel. Those of you who have not yet subscribed, what are you waiting on? You need to hit that subscribe button right now. Remember, guys, you need to turn on your notification bells. Yes, man, you got to turn on those bells, because when you turn on those bells, that is how you are going to be notified when I upload a content on the channel or whenever time I go live. And speaking about live, let me tell you, to those of you that are new, let me tell you, and let me also remind those of you who are not new, I go live every Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. where we have Let's Chat. Yes, man. And I also go live every Sundays at 4 p.m. You come on over and be blessed by a word. So if you have not yet tuned into one of the lives, any one of the lives, then you need to tune in this Thursday, 10:30 a.m. or this Sunday at 4 p.m. Now, in today's video, let's talk isolation. Now, all of us as believers, we go through isolation, we go through separation, where God separates us from certain people and certain things. And because some of us may not have the spirit of discernment, we tend to worry ourselves. We worry ourselves because God will separate you from some persons who you believed that would always be in your life, or God will separate you from a relationship. God will separate you from certain things. And when you are going through isolation, sometimes we tend to believe that it is abandonment. Isolation is not abandonment. Whatever God allows to enter the arena of our lives, believe me, He has a reason for it. And because sometimes we don't know, as I said before, we are not able to discern through the Spirit, we tend to worry ourselves. We worry ourselves because we don't know the plans that the Lord have for us. Remember in Jeremiah, he says that he knows the plans that he has for us. He knows the thought that he thinks towards us. Plans to prosper us and not to harm us. Plans to give us a hope and to give us a future. If you are presently going through isolation right now and you are worrying, then you need to stop worrying. Isolation means preparation. Isolation means that God is preparing you for greater. He's preparing you for better. He's preparing you for higher. No, you are being isolated from certain things and certain people and certain situations and certain relationships, because the Lord, who only Him knows the plans that He has for us. He alone knows what the future holds for us, because He's the only one who has the blueprint to our life. He is isolating you from certain people, certain situations, certain things, certain relationships, certain condition, because the Lord knows that it will jeopardize your future. It will influence your future. Those people will stop your progress. Those things will jeopardize His plans for you. Those relationships that He currently separate you from, He knows that that is not the right person for you. He knows that that is not the person who would be a good wife to you, a good husband to you. So He isolates you from it. Now, when the Lord isolates you from things, it means that He has a bigger and a greater plan for you. So in the isolation season, you are being processed, you are being prepared for the next chapter, the greater chapter of your life. So in this isolation season, God is allowing you to rest. Rest from that friendship. Rest from that relationship. Rest from those persons, those friends, because He's about to rebuild you. So God will remove, and then after He removes, He is preparing you for what He is about to bless you with. He is preparing you for the building, hallelujah, the building that He is about to place in your life. So He put you at rest so that He will be able to rebuild you. 2 Corinthians, and I believe it's 2 Corinthians 6 verses 17, Paul says, "Come out from among them and be ye separated." Sometimes we reach to the point in our lives where some persons got to go, where God separates, He removes certain people, He removes certain things, certain situation out of our way. Remember when the children of Israel were leaving Egypt, they reached to the point where there was the Red Sea in front. When the sea was in front of them, Pharaoh and his army was behind. God had to separate the water into two. He separates things at certain point in our life. That story, it did not only teach just that God could open up the Red Sea, but it taught that separation sometimes is the way out. Separation sometimes is the only way out. And we will reach at point in times in our life where God got to separate us from certain people and certain things, whether it be family member or not, whether it be a friendship that you had for years. The Lord knows what is best for us. Look at David. David was separated from, he was a young boy in the field minding the sheep. Don't you think he wanted to be in his father's house? Yes. But the Lord knew what he was doing from that tender age. The Lord would have him in preparation, in process, because God knew that he was going to be the next anointed king. God knows the plans that He have for your life. Maybe right now as you are watching this video, you can relate. Some people who you might have in your life now, God only can read the heart of every man. And God knows who is best for us, what is best for us, which relationship is best for us, which job is best for us, the friends that are best for us. He knows at all times what is best for us. And sometimes God have to just take out, separate you from some people, because the Lord knows that they are pretenders. They don't mean us any good. Sometimes He will separate us from relationship because the Lord knows that that is not going to go anywhere. That is not the best for us. And God always gives His children the best. God will separate you from the place that you were working because He have a bigger and a better job in store for us. So if you come across this video and you have listened to this far in the video, you are going through separation. Maybe you were worrying yourself. Maybe you were there worrying yourself, beating up yourself. What did I do then? Where did I go wrong? Why am I the rejected? Why nobody likes me? Far from it. You didn't do anything wrong. You are not the rejected. And even if you are the rejected, you are rejected to be the head. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just a part of the process. For you to get to where God is taking you, certain people cannot go with you. You got to drop some friends. You got to relieve yourself of some company, some relationship, and just take note. God will do the calling, but it is up to us, up to you, up to me to do the withdrawing. So when God calls us, and if you realize that right now you're going through isolation, and God is, because sometimes God is separating, and because we want things our own way, we still hanging on to people that God has said, let go of. We still hanging on to relationship that the Lord is saying, let go of. We still hanging on to some things that God is saying, let go of. If God is telling you, let go, you need to let go so that God can have His way in your life, so that God can elevate you, so that God can build you, so that God can promote you. Sometimes we reach to a point in time in our lives where it is our own family members, the persons that are closest to us. It is time to separate from them. And sometimes it is so hard, but it is just what God requires. And we have to just be obedient to Him. Remember Joseph? Joseph was separated from his brothers because the Lord knew that Joseph would have struggled. The plans that God have for him, because the enemy cannot stop the plans that God have for you, but the enemy can delay it. So the Lord knows that if Joseph had stayed around his brothers, his own relative biological brothers, the plans that the Lord have for him would have been delayed. So God created a separation right then and there. The very moment he was thrown into the pit, he was in isolation. He was in preparation. He was in a place of rest because the rebuilding process had to start. Maybe you weren't thrown in the pit like Joseph. Not a physical pit. But right now, maybe you feel like you are in the pit because you are going through a process of separation. If you can relate, then I want you to share. I want you to comment, leave a comment in the comment section, and I want you to like. Even if you can't relate, you might not know when it is your time, your season to go through the process of separation, isolation. Still, I want you to share, I want you to comment, and I want you to like. If you have not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. Evangelist Celia here. Until we meet next time in another video. Shalom.